It's MC Magic, and you got it locked on Roadium Radio.
Yeah, Dr. Dre is in full effect, and I gotta tell y'all a little something. Eazy-E is down with us. MC Ring, you know he's down with us. DJ Yella is down with us. Arabian Prince, you know he's down with us. Tony A the Wizard is down with us. JJ Fag is down with us. Timmy T, you know he's down with us. DJ Pooh Boy is down with us. Toddy B and Spade, they're down with us. My boy Ice Cube, you know he's down with us. I like to mention, so pay attention to where I'm from, Compton, but the tapes are from the Roadium. My name is Dre, listen while I play. And by the way, I'm also down with NWA. Yo, Steve at the Roadium is down with us. Slanging funky tapes, it is a must. We're number one.
Tony A. Tony A. When you're ready, go.
Welcome everybody to Roadium Radio episode 65. Wow, 65. We're getting up there. Soon we'll be at 70. Maybe one day we'll be even at 100. But before I introduce my special guest, I got a couple of announcements I got to make. Once again, I re-released my very first album that I produced for High C that has the I'm Not Your Puppet, Sit in the Park, etc. It's got 3 bonus tracks. The I'm Not Your Puppet radio edit. It's got Take a Ride, a song that was only released on a single. And it's got the I'm Not Your Puppet remix. So you can get that at the website. Also, I got in stock all my old school CDs. 4 of them I did. 4 of them Dr. Dre did. So you can get them for those of you that are interested in hard copies. Once again, 88 Boom and Bass, 86 in the Mix, 24/7, In Effect. All of these are now new artwork. They've been remastered and they sound dope. Other than that, those of you that have been donating to the Chicano rap documentary, when you receive an email, please respond to it so that you can receive your incentives. For those of you that have donated more than 50 or 100, you're going to get your name on the documentary when we're complete. Those are some of the incentives. You also get to watch for free the Roadium mixtape documixery. And if you didn't give and you just want to watch the documentary, go to documixery.com and use the promo code TRMD20. TRMD20, and you'll get 20% off the documentary. But you know what? Oh, one last thing. For those of you that leave tips on the GoFundMe, it is up to you if you want to leave it, but we don't receive those tips. A couple of people left $10 tips, $20 tips, and that literally goes to GoFundMe. It doesn't go to us. So it's up to you if you guys want to continue to give. But you know what? You guys don't want to hear about that. Without further ado, please allow me to introduce my very special guest today. None other than the one and only MC Magic.
Wow. Thanks for the introduction, my brother.
Well, you know what? It's a pleasure to have you here, man. It really, really is. Let me say this first. I was in Arizona, I want to say in the late 90s. And I was up there with High C, DJ Quick, Second to None, AMG, those guys.
Right.
And I remember those guys were feeling kind of lazy. They didn't feel like talking. Mm-hmm. And the DJ was trying to get them to talk. So they said, this guy loves to talk, interview him. So when I began to share my story and I said the swap meet, the guy cut me off. Hey, MC Magic. You know.
The swap meets followed me all my life, bro.
Yes. So before we get into your history, how was your drive coming over here?
It was awesome. I actually stopped by in El Centro because I discovered this new little singer, one of the projects that I'll be releasing a little bit later this year. And we went to visit. She's actually, I think she's like 17, 18 years old.
Wow.
Stopped by and met her family and that kind of stuff. We recorded a brand new record. I'm still very, very much in love with music, brother. And so I got that coming. And then yesterday, me and my wife went to the beach. You know, she likes to go put her feet in the sand and get grounded. Awesome. and pray and stuff like that. So we did that yesterday. So it was good, man. The drive was cool. But I got a little request from you.
Yes, sir.
I just opened up my live so that people on Instagram know that we're going on your YouTube live.
Yes.
And if you can just invite them over to YouTube so I can shut this down.
Yes. YouTube, go to look up Tony Vision. Tony Vision on YouTube, And once you get on Tony Vision, you will see the live link, and then just click it, and that's it. And hit subscribe and the notification bell button so that you can be notified when we are live or release feature content.
There it is.
Tony Vision on YouTube.
All right, we'll see you guys at YouTube. God bless. Take care. Y'all have a good one.
So now let me ask you this. Have you gotten a chance to see anything good lately on TV? I know during this quarantine thing, we've been forced to pretty much stay at home. We've been told to stay at home. And have you been able to catch up on anything, any movies, any?
You know what?
documentaries?
I'm really not a TV watcher. I'm really not a TV watcher. I do like watching YouTube. I do like watching YouTube stuff, and so sometimes I get hooked on that. And so, but as far as Netflix, man, I'm really bad about being on everyone else's page, because I see everybody talking about the Tiger King. I see everybody talking about the Michael Jordan thing, and the only couple things that I've watched. My son sat me down. He says, "Pops, you have to watch this." So I watched the 13th Amendment the other day on the whole Black Lives situation, and also. Or really, it's really about discrimination, not just the Black Lives Matter, the systematic discrimination. So I watched the 13th, and I tried to watch the Tiger King, but like halfway through, it just lost my interest. I got a studio at home, so I'm always in the studio. I'm always getting my hands dirty into new ideas. I started a makeup line over the quarantine, and yeah, bro.
Really? A makeup line?
Makeup, selling makeup to girls, bro.
Awesome.
And
awesome.
so, I mean.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I hope you win with that. And I'll tell you why. Many years ago, I shared some ideas that I had that I wanted to start in the obviously early 90s. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to open up a women's shoe store because women love shoes. You know, shoes never go out of style for women. Okay. And then other than that, I wanted to open up where women go and get their hair and their nails and their toes done, because they love that, you know.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I was young. I was like 22. I had some pretty good money in the bank, and I was ready. But I had a lot of friends that it ain't gonna work. And you know what? I listened, and it never happened.
You got to follow your gut, bro.
It's true.
You got to follow your gut.
It's true. So now that you say the makeup thing, I hope you win with that.
I'm already winning, brother. I'm already winning because I started a test trial, and I did two small batches. Two small batches of makeup kits. Initially, and the first batch sold out in 30 minutes. The second batch sold out in 3 minutes. It's crazy, bro. Crazy. Wow. And so now I'm waiting for my third batch and my fourth batch so we could just keep it going, man.
Keep it going.
Keep it going. Right now everybody wants to buy. There's nothing available. Right. Because it's sold out so fast. And so I'm excited really excited about that.
Man. You know what? I love to hear stories of people winning. Honestly, I really do.
I've heard you say that.
So when I heard your story in the past, and I'm going to have you share it, and all I saw was win. Obviously, there's some times that we do go through our dry spells.
Oh, yeah.
We got to pick ourselves up again. But when I hear, he's selling out shows, he's still touring, he's still doing this, I'm like, hell yeah. And I had never even met you yet.
Right.
But I get excited. I read a quote many years ago that says, sit down with winners. He said the conversation is different.
Oh, yeah.
And it's true. Most people, when they share the story with somebody, they'll get 10 reasons why they can never do it instead of, how you can win. So
yeah, my optimism is so high that people will tell me 3 or 4 reasons it's not going to work. And I'll be like, but when it does, look at the payout. I'm always telling Big D that. I go, yeah, but what if we sell that out? And he's like, yeah. Well, remember, people want a discount, and I don't like to do discounts.
Right.
I don't like to do discounts because I think when you discount something, you tell people, ¿sabes qué? It didn't work, so we're going to cut the price and see if you'll be the sucker to buy it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't like sales, discounts, promo codes, none of that.
Okay.
If it's worth this and you don't want it, then it's not for you.
Hey, man, you know what? I'm going to learn from that.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn from you today.
Look at Apple, bro. When do you get an iPhone on discount?
Unless you steal it. That's about it.
And then they'll track your ass and put you in jail.
True. Very true. You're a sports guy?
Nope.
No sports.
Just music, bro.
Not even the Arizona Cardinals?
No, I always like to wear sports gear. Like earlier, I had on Denver Broncos. That was a T-shirt that I bought when I was in Denver.
Okay.
I have lots of sports gear because I like to wear jerseys and stuff.
Okay.
But sometimes I'll have a random dude be like, "Right on, bro, Elroy," and I'm like, or what was it? Elway. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? He'll say Elway, and I'm like, "Oh man, wearing my jersey."
You're like, cool.
Yeah, and so I love the to wear it, but I'm really not a sports dude. I love music business, everything around my music, and I kind of drive people crazy. I kind of drive my wife crazy as well because that's like music. You know, she'll be sitting on the couch watching something, and I got my studio banging, and you know that we're competing levels, and I gotta have it loud, and my ears are going out. But I love music, bro.
Awesome. Speaking of music, did you ever get to watch the Quincy Jones documentary?
I haven't watched Quincy's documentary. I know about Quincy's history, but I don't know the documentary.
It's on Netflix. If you ever get a chance, if there's one documentary that I recommend, it would be that one. I really do think that you'll enjoy it and you'll be blessed by it. One thing that really intrigued me about his interview was when he said, as a little kid, he didn't know anything about music. He was 12 years old and he walked into a warehouse by himself and he saw a piano. And he said, from that point on, it changed my entire life.
Wow.
You know, so whatever happened with him by, you know, just playing, he had never played. And look at him now.
Legendary.
When I watched it with my son, and I told my son, that guy is like walking music. You know, there's no way to explain it. You know,
I mean, he produced Thriller, man, the biggest album in history.
In history. And a lot of people don't know, but he also did produce a lot of stuff for Frank Sinatra.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he did.
I didn't know that.
It blew me away. Put it this way. Since you brought up discrimination, Frank Sinatra said that he went like to perform, so they had to stay at a hotel. And Quincy comes in with his boys, and they said, no, they can't stay here. And Frank Sinatra said, if they can't stay here, I will stay here.
Yeah, that's what he did with Sammy Davis Jr. too.
Yeah.
That's a documentary I saw. This Frank Sinatra documentary. Oh, Blue Eyes was a real gangster. He was a real G. And yeah, I like that. I like his documentary. I need to watch the Quincy Jones one as well.
You'll enjoy.
You know, a few music movies that I've watched is like the Queen documentary, really dope. I think it's called Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
I watched that one. The Amy Winehouse story was really intriguing to me. Always been a Zapp and Roger fan, bro. So, you know, I watched that as well.
Of course. You like Prince?
Not a real big Prince fan, but I do like his music. Not like diehard Prince.
I'm a diehard Prince.
Yeah. and my introduction to Prince was "I Want to Be Your Lover." That was my favorite Prince record.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I got favorite Prince albums, so
that's dope. When he did the Batman album, that was dope.
Of course,
that was dope. Yeah,
that shit was hard too.
Yeah.
So now, where are you originally raised at? Like, where did you grow up at?
I was born in Mexico, Nogales, Sonora, and so my mom and dad brought me here. I must have been 4 or 5 around that age, and so since then till today, I've been living in Phoenix, Arizona. And so I've always been, you know, really that's my home.
Yes.
You know, a native from Arizona, pretty much, and so all around the Phoenix area. Because you know, when I was young, we had to live in public housing, government housing, apartment here, Section 8 over there, these apartments. So I lived in several areas of Phoenix, and then out in Avondale. And so, you know, pretty much growing up, that was my stomping grounds all over Phoenix.
Okay. So elementary, junior high school, and high school?
All in Phoenix.
Okay.
All in Phoenix. There's a little city called Avondale, west of Phoenix. That's where my high school years, my last 3 high school years were. Okay. And those were my development years where I really started making noise as a DJ, and then started getting people would hear my name on the radio in Phoenix and stuff when I started getting booked to DJ areas like that. So that was a real what do you call it, a growth time for me when I was in Avondale. A lot of people think I'm just from Avondale. Mama, you want to get this? It's Tito.
Okay. Now, what high school did you graduate from?
Agua Fria High School in Avondale.
Okay, and growing up, you play any sports?
I couldn't play sports because I didn't have an American birth certificate.
Okay.
And so when I went to the house and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I want to go. There's a baseball team over at Cofield Park called the Little Rascals, and I want to play on it.
Yeah.
They just need my birth certificate to confirm how old I am. And she's like, "Sabes que si miran que eres de México, te van a llevar para México." And I was like, so I better not play.
Yeah.
And so I was always scared to sign up for anything, a fear of getting deported.
Wow.
You know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just
Interesting.
it's just really not really well educated. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They just wanted to know how old I was,
Right.
and so that's the reason I didn't play sports. One time that I didn't have to prove my age was when I was in 7th and 8th grade. I was on the track team at school.
Okay.
And so I did run track with the relay team, and I also did high jump and shot put.
Okay.
As short as I am, I did high jump.
Were you fast at running miles?
Oh yeah, I was the anchor, bro.
For real?
I was the anchor when I was on the relay team. I was the anchor. They would give it to the little dark Mexican for the end, and I'd get that baton. I'm on his way, you know.
That's dope. That's dope.
Well, then like the migra was on me.
Right. Growing up at home, what type of music would your parents play at home, like as a kid? Do you remember?
Mexican music.
All Mexican.
Mexican music. That's why I'm really like a fan of those Mexican chords. When I put songs together, a lot of time I'll use Mexican chords and add English lyrics on, and people just love them because they're like, where did this come from? It's really like Los Terrícolas, stuff from Jose Jose, from Juan Gabriel, from Vicente Fernandez. I use those chords and just make it my style, and people kind of don't even know it's you're secretly snatching their soul of something that they already like.
Awesome. I'm glad. I love the way you put that, because I kind of have a way that I do music too, and that's awesome. Now, what intrigued you? What encouraged you? Who did you see that motivated you to start DJing?
I just love music, bro. What I have a little story about when the first night I ever DJ'd was when my mom was approved to get a bigger house within the government housing, right? My mom was approved to get a bigger house, so we moved to a little city called Avondale. I was just finishing my freshman year, and so when we moved there, I was 14, and got to meet the neighbors and stuff. And one of my neighbors named Shirley, she said, "Hey, you're from Phoenix. I'm having my birthday party. You know any good DJs?" And I was like, "I'm a DJ." And she's like, "Really? You are? Can you DJ my party?" I go, "Oh, but I ain't got no equipment." You see what happens is my homie down. I made up a lie. And she's like, "Well, what can we do?" I was like, "I tell you what, if your mom will let me use her stereo in the living room, I'll take the stereo from my living room, set them both up, and I'll DJ your party."
Wow.
And she's like, "I think that'd be dope." So Shirley gave me an opportunity to DJ her birthday party. Her mom advanced me $20, and I went and bought some 7-inch singles. I remember the song that was popular at the time was "Cutie Pie, You're the Reason Why." I think I must have played that 10 times that night. You know what I'm saying? So that night when I was behind the turntables, seeing everybody in my neighborhood just, "Woo, happy birthday, Shirley," rocking it out, I was like, damn, this is what I want to do forever.
Wow.
You know, and I was 14 back
14
then, and
years
ever
old.
since then, brother.
Wow. Well, my first party, I think I was probably 11 or 12, but it was a school noon dance. And I had to burn everything on a cassette, because all they had was a cassette player and a turntable. So I had to put my records on that cassette. So I press play and then mix it over here, and then say something, and then press play. So that's how I went back and forth. So.
Yeah. Imagine if I'm not DJing with actually 1200s. I'm DJing with home stereo systems and 2 different sound systems, like her speakers. And so, yeah, I understand. Matter of fact, my first turntables that I had, I didn't buy them. I built them.
You built them?
Yeah, I had wood shop at school. So I made the cajon for the turntable, and I ripped the turntable out of the stereo in the living room, bolted it down, and I figured the wires so that the audio comes to the right place, that the power went to the power. And after I got one to work, then I went ahead and built me my second one. So my first maybe 4 or 5 years DJing, I had these wooden turntables and a Radio Shack mixer.
Oh, okay. This is the first time I've ever heard this.
Yeah.
I bought some used turntables, and they were fucked up.
Yeah.
But they were 1200s. My first pair of but they looked like Sanford and Son had them before I did. Okay, but I never heard of the wooden turntable. Did you know how to do with the wires, or you just figured it out?
I've always been the kid that opened up the stereo to see how it works, to see where the wires go, the blue, the black, the ground. Okay, here we go. And so I just figured it out, bro. I mean, I've electrocuted myself, shocked myself many times messing with things, but you know, my dad wasn't around because after him and my mom came to the U.S. a couple years later, he left the family. So I really didn't have like a father figure. So I was free to just teach myself whatever, you know?
Wow. So I'm still blown away by the wooden turntable. So all my DJ buddies that are listening, please take notes.
Yeah.
Wooden turntables and a realistic mixer. So, and then obviously you started buying records. Yeah. And you started, did you get a card? Did you start telling word of mouth?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And here's something that was really amazing, Tony, is when I was ready to start DJing, I'm like, okay, I got these low quality speakers. I got this turntable and this Radio Shack mixer. Now I was mixing on a Radio Shack mixer before it even had a crossfader, bro. Yeah. Their first mixer was just levels. Yes. Yeah. So not even a crossfader. But I said I'm ready to get gigs. And so I thought in my mind, so how can I promote myself to the point where I can get gigs? Yes. So I thought it out of my head. I'm like, look, I'll do something free on Thursday, and then I'll be ready to be booked for high schools on Friday and for quinceañeras on Saturday. That's what I'll do. So I went down to Avondale City Hall. I met this lady named Linda Tyler. And I told her, I says, listen, Miss Tyler, this is what I want to do. I want to do something free on Thursday nights at this park over here by Sonic. I want to do something free where kids could come out and they'll be staying off the streets. It'd keep them out of trouble. It'd be free music in the park. You tell me what time we shut down and we'll shut it down. And she kind of giggled. She's like, how old are you? I'm like, 14. She's like, you want to do something for kids, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So she laughed a little bit, but I guess she thought it was cute. Right. And so she went back there and talked to some people and came back. She goes, we're going to give it a shot. We're going to give it a shot, and we're going to assign some police officers to be out there making sure that everything's peaceful. So they did, and the first night that we did it was just the mocosos from my neighborhood. And then a little while, like by a month, we had the park cracking. And it got to the point where it was too popular. There was too many people coming out, and they were saying that, we should probably back off on a little bit. But by that time, everybody already knew who the best DJ in Avondale was. It was Mr. Magic. Okay. And it was Mr. Magic at first, not MC Magic.
Oh, now, where did the magic come from? The name to say one day, okay, now I'm Mr. Magic.
Yeah. Well, this is how my thought process went. Is I was watching these things on TV. It was like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, UTFO, and I'm like, these guys got really exaggerated names, super names, and I'm like, damn, I didn't know what to call myself, and I just said, I just call myself the Magic Mixer. You know what I'm saying? The Magic Mixer, and it just became Mr. Magic. Because I wanted to go with Magic Mixer. I remember the first T-shirt that I made with Old English writing said Magic Mixer, la 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 la, and I drew it myself y todo. So I went from Magic Mixer just to Mr. Magic, because that's what the guy at the flyer store used to call me. He goes, "Hey, Mr. Magic," when I go to get my flyers, and so it just because he put Mr. Magic on the flyer once, and I was like, it sounds easier, Mr. Magic. So I went with Mr. Magic, and then later, when I started writing songs, I says it's got to be more of a rapper name, and so I changed it to my initials, Marco Cardenas, MC Magic, and rappers are already MCs, so that's the history of how my name evolved. Yeah,
I'm loving your story, and at the same time, it humbles me because you told me from the age of 14, I see a go-getter, somebody that wanted to overcome, somebody that wanted to be successful, and I see that, and I wonder during this time what a parent thinks. Did your mom ever tell you, "Mijo, ¿qué estás haciendo?" Like
my mom was always a good supporter, even though she was not around. Okay. I remember the first time that Linda Tyler let me use the community center, because after the park was too cracking, I went back to her. I'm like, how can we do it indoors? So she let me use the Avondale Community Center, and I said, what does it cost? She goes, well, it costs $50. That's a cleaning deposit. As long as you clean it and leave it the way it is, we'll give you your $50 back because it's a community center. It's for you.
Yeah.
And so I charged money that night. I charged $2 to get in. And I remember I gave my mom $400. And she told me, ¿Y este dinero de dónde lo agarraste? And I'm like, Mom, we had a dance tonight. We had a dance. And she's like, ¿Seguro que no andas haciendo algo malo? I'm like, Mom, I had a dance. I charged at the door. My sisters were there helping me. And she thought I stole the money or she thought I was selling drugs.
Wow.
But I was hustling, and I get, helping mom has always been to this day, brother.
Awesome.
To this day, it's always been, a priority. And so, yeah, when I first started making money doing dances, she thought I was doing, bad things. And then when I went to the swap meet, I started making more money. So I'd give her more money. And again, she got suspicious.
Wow.
Wow.
Kind of reminds me of a story, and I'll just share it with you quickly. It was March 24th, 1988. I was 19. I was about to turn 20. My birthday is March 28th. I entered the battle of the DJs here to be the king of the harbor area, okay? And my mom wouldn't let me go. I had a very strict Mexican mother. So I told my friend, take my turntables, my mixer, and go set it up, and I'm going to sneak out. So I couldn't go dressed up, so I wore some jeans and a white t-shirt. I knocked out, and as soon as she turned off the light, I slid the window, and I rolled out, went through the alley, took off, I won the competition. I won, and I'm thinking, how in the hell am I going to get back in? So what I did, I knocked, my brother opened the door, and I put the trophy and the check on the table, and I went to bed. So in the morning, she asked me, what was that? And I go, that was for you.
That was for you.
Yeah,
that's dope, bro.
Yeah,
congratulations, man.
Yeah. Well, thank you, man. But when I hear stories like yours, it's like so many similarities that I see, man, and I love it. At what point in time, soon after that, did you start, if you will, going to the swap meet?
Yeah. Avondale and the swap meet, there was maybe like a 4 or 5 year difference. So for a long time in Avondale, I was DJing. And I got hooked up with a promoter in Phoenix, so he started letting me DJ gigs in Phoenix. Okay. That was a big deal. It's like someone coming from the 805, and all of a sudden they start getting gigs in LA, and people were like, "Who's this dude?" So I started to become popular in Phoenix now, not just Little Avondale.
Wow.
And so when I was becoming popular in Phoenix, I kept working hard, and one time there was a knock at the door, and it was a young black kid selling jewelry. He's like, yo, man, we got bracelets and rings and this and that and the other. I go, I know you from somewhere. And he's like, aren't you Magic from Avondale? And I was like, you're Tim Reed, ain't you? You related to Tony Reed. He's like, me, what you doing, brother? He's all happy. We got happy to see each other and this and that. Well, he's a little bit younger than me. So we weren't really tight.
Right.
But Tim said, what you doing? Are you still DJing? I go, come in, I'm crazy busy. You should come out to some gigs with me. So Tony Reed, instead of buying jewelry from him, I told him, come help me DJ.
Right.
And so when he came out to help me DJ, he loved it, man. He got addicted to it. He got addicted to, getting on the mic and hyping up the crowd. I've always had hype parties, like amazing parties. I still get texts today and messages from fans that are like, man, I used to see you at the Sunny Slope Community Center. He said, I was only like 10, but damn, those parties were cracking. And my wife would tell you those parties were cracking.
Wow.
And so I would always give things out too, because I was in the record pool. And the record pool would give me extra records. I was giving people 12-inch vinyls, yeah, whatever, bro. Just making the party hype. And so Tim Reed told me one time, he walked in, by the time that Tim came to visit me, again, we're already working as DJs together, he saw me making a beat. I had just bought this thing called the Ensonic.
Okay.
Was making a beat, learning how to make music. And he's like, yo, did you make that beat? I was like, yeah, I made that. He goes, how long did it take you? Oh, maybe about 5 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. And he's like, Magic, everybody wants to rap. He said, let's go set you up at the swap meet and everybody will buy beats from you.
Wow.
And I'm like, you really think so? You really think rappers are hanging out at the swap meet? And he's like, I'll pay for the booth. Let's try it. So we went to the swap meet. Tim paid the $12 fee to get a booth back then. And I was sitting there telling people, yeah, I'll make you a beat. I'll make you a beat. Nobody was buying no beats.
Wow.
Nobody was buying beats. And so then one guy came up and he goes, I'll take one. How much are they? Well, they were $10, I just started. I said, they're $10. And he's like, "Órale, make it for me." So here's a beat. And how did it sound? He goes, "It sounds good." And I'm like, "All right, well, I'll put it on the cassette for you, and you could, you could pay me." And he's like, "Aren't you gonna rap on it?" And I'm like, "Rap on it? I could. What do you want me to say?" He goes, "Just make a rola for my hyena right here." And so he's told me his girl's name and a few things about her. And I wrote them down. I'm like, "All right, let me write the song, bro." I had the beat going. He was watching me. People walking by. I was writing Jessica this and Jessica that. I'm like, this is taking too long. I said, I'm going to just freestyle it. So I got on the mic. "This is for the chica named Jessica. Little fine mamacita, let's da. And I just started freestyling, and we got a crowd.
Wow.
We got a crowd, and I was recording it. And then the more crowd that came, the hyper that I got. And all of a sudden, everybody wanted one.
Wow.
Everybody wanted one, so I gave homeboy his tape, and my custom songs were born. And I've been doing those ever since then, bro.
Now, okay. Are we ever going to see a MC Magic documentary or movie?
I mean, I think about it all the time, and I talk about it all the time. I would like one to happen, but I'm such a control freak that I'm afraid to let somebody else do it, for fear of getting it done wrong.
Right.
And then I'm so busy with new projects that, I mean, I want to write a book. I want to make the documentary and this and that. So I'm kind of like on a rock and a hard spot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so eventually I got to trust somebody. Maybe Tony A can do the documentary.
We can call him. Awesome. You know what? Let's take a break, and we're going to come back. I got some more Swamp Me questions I want to ask you. We'll pick it up right after the break. Take 10-minute break, and we'll come right back.
Right on, brother.
Thank you very much for blessing us with those stories. Once again, everybody, call somebody, text somebody, slap shit out of somebody, let them know that MC Magic's in the motherfucking building, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go nowhere. Go get yourself a beer, slap your girl on the ass, get your popcorn ready, and we can get it cracking. Roadium Radio, and I am your host, Tony A. the Wizard. We started a GoFundMe page because we need you to help us meet our goal. And our goal is to release a Chicano rap documentary. And we need you to be a part of this. Everyone who contributes will have certain incentives offered to them. For an example, I'll name one. Your name will be on the credits of the film. Everyone who gives, everyone who contributes, their name will be on the credits. That's just one thing that we have to offer. But yet, if you read the description, you see other incentives for your contribution. If you've seen the Roadium Mixtape documixery, you will not be disappointed with this documentary, shining light on Chicano rap, the Chicano culture. It is something that can be used as an educational tool now and in the future. So once again, help us meet our goals so that we can start production. And remember this, we have a voice and we will be heard.
What it do, it's Mr. Little One chilling on Roadium Radio with the one and only Tony A and John motherfucking ELKINS, boy!
Hey, what up? It's your boy Mr. Shadow. You're watching Roadium Radio with my homeboy Tony A the Wizard. You know what time it is.
Yeah, what up? This is Mr. Night Owl, and you're listening to Roadium Radio with the legendary Tony A the motherfucking Wizard.
Yo, what's cracking? Nosotros somos Aqua y estamos aquí con Tony A the Wizard. You know Roadium Radio, damn it. You know what it is.
Yo, what up? This is Mellow Man Ace and Padrino, and you tuned in to Roadium Radio with my man Tony A. Keep it locked.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy OG Arabian Prince from the world's most dangerous group, NWA. I'm sitting here with my boy Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
What's up, everybody? It's your homegirl Magic Girl, and you're now listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yo, what's up? This is Bozo, aka Emiliano. You tune into Roadium Radio on Tony Vision's YouTube channel. Let's get it.
What up? It's Mr. Soto. You guys are now in tune to Roadium Radio right here on Tony Vision on YouTube. Yep.
Check it out. This is MC Poncho on the MIC. Shout out to Tony A the Wizard, Roadium Radio. You already know. What up, this is DJ Trick, Spanish Fly, and you're watching Tony A on the Roadium Radio Show.
Big G, Roadium Radio, Tony A in full effect. Stay tuned, watch, listen. That's how we doing it over here.
Yo, what up? I'm out here. This Big Daddy Swoles. I'm jamming with my man, Tony A the Wizard, out here on Roadium Radio. The podcast is off the hook. Check us out.
This is DJ Clientele, and you are listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yeah, this Baby Bounce here with Tony A the Wizard. You are now tuned in to the Roadium Radio. We do it for the people. You hear me?
Mic check. Ernie G from Proper Dos, and I'm listening to Tony A the motherfucking Wizard on Roadium Radio. And if you don't know, you should know.
What's up, everybody? This is Soren Baker. I'm the author of the book, The History of Gangster Rap, in stores now worldwide. And you're listening to Roadium Radio, hosted by Tony A. Make sure to check it out. We talk about the Roadium Mixtapes. We're here. Soren Baker, Roadium Radio.
Y'all, this is Really Greg, and I'm chilling with Tony the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
Hey, this is Swifty Blue. I'm right here at Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard. Stay tuned.
It's the KAS here live on Roadium Radio with the one and only Tony A the Wizard.
What up, y'all? This is Kiki Smooth, the first Mexican rapper out of Compton, rich and ruthless, and you're listening to the Roadium Radio with Tony A, the Grand Wizard, El Mago himself. Hey, Compton's in the house.
What's up? It's Quete Yes God with my harbor out of homeboy Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio. Yes God.
Hey, what's up, gente? It's your homeboy Duende. You're tuned into Roadium Radio with my homeboy Tony A the Wizard. Ya te la sabes, wey.
What up? It's your boy Baldachi the Beast, F for Music, Face of LA, right here at Roadium Radio. Make sure y'all tune in. Your boy Tony A the Wizard.
This is Kelvin Anderson, owner of the world famous VIP Records, and you listen to my man Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio.
Yeah, what up? It's Lil Black, you the brown super baller, and you checking out Roadium Radio with the homeboy Tony A the Wizard.
Yo, what's cracking? It's your boy OG Big Wicked, Real Ones Apparel, Orange County. I here with my boy Tony A the Wizard, Roadium Radio. Yo, make sure to peep it. Peace.
Que tranza raza, aquí su servidor, Sinful and Pecador, and you listening to Roadium Radio with my boy Tony A the Wizard.
Check, what's up? It's your boy Capital I Man from the Mexican Crew, and you're tuning into Roadium Radio with my boy Tony A the Wizard. This motherfucker's a legend. Bow!
What's up, y'all? This is Christy Glove, and you're watching the Roadium Radio Show on Tony Vision on YouTube.
What's up? This is Mr. D on Roadium Radio, kicking back with the homeboy, Tony A.
Yo, this is Fancy the Boss. Tune in on YouTube at Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
What's up? This is Leah Farsayer, aka the Dragon, the Serpent, the Spear. I'm on Roadium Radio with my boy Tony the Wizard.
Hey man, Nick B and Eric B, the Baker Boys in the house, hanging out with Roadium Radio and the one and only Tony the Wizard.
Tony the Wizard, aka Kylo Ren, right here on YouTube, Sundays and Wednesdays.
Tony Vision, subscribe
Tony
now.
Vision, yeah.
Boys, big baby.
What's good with it? This is Old Creep, aka Jay Stompanato. I'm putting it down for Orange County on the Roadium Radio Show by West Coast legend DJ Tony A. We up and out this bitch.
What's up with it, dog? It's West Coast Gilly on Roadium Radio with the legend Tony A the Wizard on Tony Vision. You know what it is, West Coast to the fullest. Believe that.
What's up, everybody? This is Stefan Orier listening to Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Doughboy Tony. You tuned into Roadium Radio with West Coast legend Tony A the Wizard.
What up? It's your boy Lottie the G, straight out of Santa Ana, CA, and we're right here live in the mix with the West Coast legend Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio, Tony Vision on YouTube.
Yo, what's up, world? This is Cool 187, above the law in the building, and you tuned in to Roadium Radio with my man Tony A the Wizard.
What's up? This is Darren Vegas. You're on Roadium Radio with Tony A the Wizard. Real West Coast hip hop history right here.
Yo, what up? Sleepy Malo in the house, here at the Roadium Radio with my boy Tony A the Wizard, giving us our voice back. One of the realest motherfuckers I know.
What's up, homie? Show me Frankie Quinones, a.k.a. Creeper from Cholo P. And you're listening to Tony A the Wizard on Roadium Radio. That's what's up right there.
Hey, yo, what's up, man? It's Cujo the Savage. I'm right here with Tony A the Wizard Roadium Radio. Everybody stay tuned, man. It's a motherfucking hit.
Yo, shout out to Roadium Radio, Tony A. the Wizard, your boy Pablo Nunez right here in the studio. Be about it, people.
¿Qué onda, muchacho? Ahí viene este miro. King with the Blaxican and Negrito de Los Angelitos, and you're checking out that Roadium Radio with Tony A. the Wizard.
¿Qué hubo, Raza? This is Wicked from the Brown Side here on Roadium Radio with Tony A. the Wizard. You know.
What up? It's your homeboy Infinite TGM, chilling with Tony A. the Wizard on Roadium Radio. Make sure you guys go check that out.
What up, everybody? This is Wicked Baby Doll, and I'm chilling with Tony A. at Roadium Radio. Check it out. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow him on Instagram.
What's good? What's good? It's your boy Spanky Loco, and you tuning in to Roadium Radio with that motherfucking legend, Mr. Tony A. You know what time it is, West.
Hey, what up? This Rebello the Dome.
And this Dominator.
And we came straight from the 805 ready to slap that motherfucking meat on your grill, bitch.
Roadium Radio, Central Coast Click.
What up?
What up with it? This your boy OG Magoo, Los Angeles airbrush artist, big chillin' on site with the homie Tony the Wizard on Roadium Radio. All gas, no brakes. Let's get it.
Man, you now listening to LA Icon, man, right here live with Tony A, the motherfucking Wizard on Roadium Radio.
What's up, what's up? This is Ridaz, the Spanish Fly, with that reintroduction right here on Roadium Radio with my boy, the Wizard, Tony A.
Yeah, what up? It's Spanish Fly MC, Big MOC, Mr. Most MC, on the Roadium Radio Show, baby, with Tony A, the Grand Wizard. Let's go.
Johnny D from Spanish Fly on Roadium Radio. Your one and only Theo with the Giant Cheeto.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Trish Toledo, and I'm over here with Tony A, John motherfucking ELKINS, and DG Media at Roadium Radio. Make sure you tune in every Wednesday and Sunday at 7 p.m.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl Blanca. Bobby D presents Uncle Snoop's Army. Chilling right here at Roadium Radio with Tony A, the Wizard. Make sure you tune in Wednesdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. on YouTube.
Yo, this is Daniel Jones, the D to the motherfucking G Media Clips. Here with your boy, Tony A. the Wizard on the Roadium Radio Show.
Check, 1 2 1 2. This is Roger Live, and you are in tune to the sounds of Tony A. the Wizard on Roadium Radio, West Coast.
Yo, what's up? This is John motherfucking Elkins, and you're tuning to Roadium Radio with my homeboy, DJ Tony A. the Wizard.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio, episode 65. And before we get back into the interview, once again, you can go to documentaries.com, buy the re-release of the High C first album that I produced, the mixtapes. For those of you that have been asking for hard copies, now you can order them. They're $4 for $30. They're $10 each, or you could buy them a piece, or you could buy them 4 for $30 on download as well. But for those of you that want hard copies, you can get them there. But you know what? For those of you guys that are texting me right now, wait till after the interview, okay? Other than that, MC Magic. You know what? Let me go ahead and give a shout out to Magic Girl, Genesis, Forever. What's up?
There you go. So, I was telling you a little while ago that I think I met her once over at the first time I met her was in San Fernando Valley, and then she performed at the Arizona Super Show. So I've seen her a couple times, and when they decided to name her the Real Magic Girl, because she plays the talk box too. Yeah. Capone called me. He said, "Do you mind if we name her?" I'm like, "No, man, go do what you got to do, brother." Yeah. And so that's the little bit of history that I have with her. Okay. I know she's out there doing music and chasing her dreams, and I encourage that, bro. I encourage everybody to chase their dreams. You know?
Awesome. Now let's go back to the swamp meet, because I'm a swamp meet baby.
Yes.
So you're doing beats now. Are you using the Ensoniq at the time?
I was using the Ensoniq at the time. That was the unit that I used to make all the swap meet beats. Now, remember when I told you I started rapping happy birthday songs to people and stuff like that? I ended up recording at the swap meet over 100,000 custom songs, one at a time, bro.
Wow.
That's a lot of songs, bro.
So it got to the point where people were getting up early. Let's go to the swap meet. Let's hit up MC Magic because I want my tape.
Because they want you. Yeah. I would. And the thing about those custom songs that I was doing, whether it was a birthday or just a shout out, I was doing them for gangs. I was doing them for car dealerships. I was doing them for businesses so they could promote their stuff on the radio. There would be like ladies from the real nice area in Phoenix called Scottsdale. You know, white women would come and they would say, okay, now Ashley's having a birthday, Sammy's having a birthday, and George. So I'm going to leave these with you. I'm going to go shopping. And when I come back, hopefully you'll have them done. And I'm like, okay, I got you. And so we would have stacks of, like, I'd get there at 7 in the morning. I would be rapping until 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, and I had to stop rapping because my voice would go out.
Wow. And obviously you had the tent and everything?
Yeah. I had a cheesy little tent and signs that said, you know, come get your MC Magic rap tape or whatever it was.
And would that be Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday, yeah.
Wow.
And it was really tough for me when I had a wedding after the swap meet, because a lot of times my voice would go out, and so I still had to DJ a wedding and announce at the wedding, and then get up, you know, work until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then get up again to be there at 7 a.m. on Sunday.
Wow.
We put in a lot of work, bro. A lot.
Now, what gave you that drive, man?
Music. I love music, brother. I love music, and I love making money too. I love making money too.
Absolutely.
Before I started the swap meet, I used to have an accounting job. I was an accountant for U-Haul International Payroll Department.
Okay.
So I would process payroll checks. I was making like $9-10 an hour back in 1990. You know, 89, 90. Which was good money back then, you know, $10 an hour. But when I went to the swap meet and I was making, you know, $3,500 in a weekend, I said, forget the job, you know.
Okay.
So then, and the thing is that the money that I was making at the swap meet gave me the extra money I needed to start a record company, to learn how to make records better, to drop my debut CD, because I really didn't come out with my debut CD as MC Magic until 1995.
Okay.
You know?
Now, that's what I wanted to get to. I know in 1990 or 91, you you came out with your own Nasty Boy Records?
Yeah, Nasty Boy Records. And the thing is, and it's still today, nastyboyrecords.com. We even say it in the songs and stuff. And so I was trying to think of how to name my label, and I know I was a big fan of Bad Boy Records. You know, because Diddy was cracking. You know, it was Puff Daddy back then.
Right.
Puff Daddy was really cracking. All his music was hitting. He had Notorious B.I.G. He had Mace, and he was just owning it. All his songs were cracking. And I was walking through the swap meet, because that's one thing that you do when you work at the swap meet. You walk around to say what's up to other vendors. And I saw this hat that had like the metal plate, like Janet Jackson used to wear, and it said Nasty Boy, and I'm like, that's my label right there. Because he was Bad Boy, I was Nasty Boy. You see? So he got P. Diddy kind of influenced me. And then the Janet Jackson hat that said Nasty Boy. So I went with nastyboyrecords.com.
So now, Nasty Boy Records. Now, were you thinking already, while you're doing these mixtapes, were you thinking, I'm going to start rapping, I'm going to form a group? Like how did that, I'm going to release stuff? What sparked that? Or?
Well, I read a book called For the Record. I read a book that said, you know, there's 3 ways to get rich. The only one that's, I don't remember all the other 2 ways, but the one was write a hit record. And I forget who the book was by, but it was called For the Record. Wow. And it said, this is one of the ways you can get rich, write a hit record. And so that was my motivation. I wanted to get rich, write a record, because I love making music and I love making money. And so I didn't get rich. It took a long time to really start making it work, but I never stopped trying. And to this day, man, I say I'm rich because of my lifestyle, because of my family, because I never have to work. All I do is music. It's really not work when you love it so much. But anyway, I probably didn't answer your question.
No, all good. So, at what point would you say that you created, or the Nasty Boy clique came about?
Yeah. So, like I told you, my debut album, Don't Worry, came out in 95.
Yes.
So then I started to work on my sophomore album. And so one of the first songs that I did was working with a local rapper named Zigzag. So Zigzag came over, and we were making a song called, I said, I want to make a song about Arizona, something about, us here. And he's like, yeah. So he goes, I'll write something. So he was working at a furniture store, I think. I dropped him off a cassette of the beat that I made. And when he got off of work, he called me. He goes, yo, I'm ready to go drop this hook. And I'm like, let's do it. So he came over and he wrote, take a little trip with me. And so we recorded that. And my first words was, stepping out the door, wait. Oh, that's his verse. Anyway, somewhere on the lyrics it says, album number 2, just to clock respect. This time we got to do it my way. And so it was album number 2, which meant it was my sophomore album. Well, my sophomore album didn't get done because after working with Zigzag, a DJ named Too Swift introduced me to also Dos. And then one of the little kids that was working for me at the swap meet, he would help me take orders and that. Aaron, he would always tell me, man, let me rap on one of your songs. Let me get on. So all these things were happening. We were working together. And I already had maybe, 7 or 8 songs recorded. And I'm like, man, I got so many features. I felt that it sounded more like a compilation.
Okay.
I felt, and I'm like, why don't I drop a compilation of everyone that messes with Nasty Boy Records? So I called it Nasty Boy Click, the clique of everyone who messes with Nasty Boy Records.
Okay.
But then as soon as we dropped Down for Yours, If You Down for Mine, featuring Roger Troutman, they're like, this new group, Nasty Boy Click, is killing them. And so the people just thought we were a group. So I ran with it.
Okay, see, and that's what I had thought. It was a group. It was more of a compilation, if you will.
It was intended to be a compilation.
Okay.
And which is why I say from MBK to MB Ridaz to the Magic City.
Awesome. So now, for all of us geeks that love production equipment, what type of equipment if you remember, did you use to create that compilation album?
Back then I was still on the Ensoniq EPS 16 plus. Ensoniq EPS 16 plus. I've always heard of the SP 1200.
Yes.
And I also had an MPC. I don't remember which one because there's been so many versions
MPC
of it.
16 in the 2000, 3000.
2000, MPC plus. So I did have an MPC as well. So I would make beats on the MPC and I had, keyboard sounds, bass lines on the Ensoniq. And I was recording all that to an ADAT. One ADAT, 8 tracks.
8 track, that's it.
Yeah, so I would make all the music, and I'd mix it, bounce it to 2 tracks, and then we had vocals.
Rap on top.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, I want to ask you this because you said you used the Ensoniq, and did anybody teach you how to play the keyboards?
Yeah. There's a story behind that one too. The reason I had to force myself to learn to make beats was because the guy who made good beats in town, it was some white kid actually. His name was Rob Anderson. It just so happened that we went to school together, me and Rob. And so I went to visit Rob once, and he started showing me his beats. And I'm like, damn, that's fire, Rob. Won't you sell me that one? He's like, oh no, this was going to. We're trying to get CeCe Peniston to sing on this one.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, all right. So he showed me another one, and same thing. He didn't want me to have it because he said it was for something else. And I'm like, bro, show me a beat that you will sell me. And when he showed me the beat that he thought was cool for me, it spoke to me. It told me he doesn't want to sell you any of his good shit because he don't believe in you.
Right.
And so I thought to myself, all right, well, this is the only guy that I know that makes beats, so I'm going to have to figure something out. So I looked at what he was using. It was Ensoniq.
Okay.
And so I went to Symphony Music in Phoenix, bought me an Ensoniq, and then I called Rob. I go, yo, Rob, if I pay you $100, will you come teach me how to use this keyboard? And he's like, oh yeah, what'd you buy? I go, it's called the Ensoniq 16. Oh, he goes, that's the one I got. I'm like, no shit. Anyway, so for $100, he gave me all his knowledge. He said, look, you load up a bank here, here's the beats, you load up a bass line. I'm like, orale, here you go, thank you so much. So it took me a while to really, figure it out.
Right.
But no doubt, it was amazing.
Where's Rob at now?
Rob, I saw him probably about 6 or 7 months ago. Rob's doing good. He doesn't work that much in music anymore. He's got his own career. But when I tell him the story, he laughs. He's like, I didn't do that to you, bro. And I'm like, it's all good.
You know what that reminded me of, if you don't mind me sharing this? There were guys that had turntables when I didn't have turntables, and I didn't like them. But they were popular guys, and their parents couldn't afford to buy them those $700 turntables. So I would hit them up, and I'll tell them, hey, I'll give you $5 if I can go to your house on the weekend and just practice. Yeah, cool. You know, I used to hear scratches in my head. I used to always tell my son, if you could hear it here, you could do it here.
Amen.
So so my guys to come in, I give them $5, and I go, can you get out? Because I didn't want to hear it. Back then, they would bite your scratches.
Yeah, they'll bite your moves.
So they would leave, and that's how I got good.
Amen.
You know, that's how I got good on other people's shit. But so now, how did that album do? The Nasty Boy Click album.
So the Nasty Boy Click album was really amazing. It changed my life.
Okay.
It changed my life because I had made friends with Don Parker.
Okay.
Who was a programmer of Power 92. Excuse me. Power 92 is what Power 106 was to LA back in the day.
Okay.
So in Phoenix is Power 92. And so I made friends with Don Parker, the program director. We were working on concerts and stuff like that. But I didn't tell him I did music. After we were good friends and stuff, I go, Don, man, I want to meet with you and show you this record. So I had the first single from Nasty Boy Click album. It was Down for Yours, If You Down for Mine. So when I played it for him, and it was featuring Roger Troutman, by the way.
We're going to talk about that because there's something interesting.
Yeah, it was featuring Roger Troutman. And he goes, hey, that kind of sounds like Zapp and Roger. You know? And I was like, yeah, Don, that's Roger. That's Roger. I paid him to come to Phoenix and record with me. And he's like, wow. He goes, why don't we put it on the radio and see how people like it?
Damn, like that?
He just said like that. And I'm like, that would be the biggest blessing in the world. 7 p.m. that night, he called me. He goes, I got to tell you, I think you got something. He goes, I think you got something because ever since we put your record on, every single request has been for your record.
Wow.
And I'm like, God bless it. It was just such an amazing thing for me. I had only pressed up 10,000 units. That's all I could afford.
Right.
Press up 10,000 units, and I took those to the little distributor there in Arizona. God bless Mr. Leonard Singer from Associated Distribution. I gave him the 10,000 units, and he said, I'll get them everywhere. You just tell people that if they want them to get them, come. So he was handling my distribution. I was doing radio, but almost like a week after we dropped it, every record company in America wanted to sign us.
Wow.
And I was like, these are the record companies that never returned my call, never said I got your promo pack, and they were all like calling me. I was one of the first to have a cell phone back then. I had a little StarTag, and my StarTag was blowing up. It was blowing up, and I was like, damn, that's crazy how this record changed my life.
Wow. Okay. I once heard you share this, but I need you to share it again about Roger Troutman, how you contacted him, how you flew him over, and how you guys recorded. Can you please?
Yeah. And so I woke up one day when we were working on Down for Yours, and I even told my wife, I go, wouldn't this sound amazing? Because the record was already done.
Yeah.
I said, wouldn't this sound amazing if Roger Troutman was on it? And she just like, yeah, I guess, if you think that's good, you know? She said, if you think that's good, do it. And so I had Lester's phone number. Lester is the manager of the group and the drummer, or he's no longer the manager because his son took over.
Yeah.
But back then, Lester, the drummer, was the manager. So I called Lester, and I was like, Les, he goes, hey, how you doing, Mr. Promoter? Because I had booked him for some gigs. And I'm like, Les, what is it going to cost me to get Roger Troutman to do a feature for me? And he goes, I can't handle that. He goes, that's not my department. He goes, you want to book a concert? I got you. He said, but if you want to feature Roger Troutman, you got to talk to him directly. I'm like, how do I do that? He goes, I'm going to give you his number. It was mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
That I could have Roger Troutman's number.
Right.
And so I called Roger, and he goes, yep. He just was, yes, I can do it. Yes, we can, blah, blah, blah. He goes, have you ever heard of Tupac and Dr. Dre? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, have you ever heard of a little record called California Love? I said, yes, Roger. He goes, you know, Dre paid me $18,000 to do that song. I was like, damn, I don't have $18,000, Roger. He goes, I'm going to give you a discount. And I was like, what can we do? He said, $10,000. And so I probably had about $1,000 in the bank, 1,200 maybe. And I said, 10 racks, Raj? What I got to do? He goes, well, you got to book me an airline ticket to come to Phoenix. You got to send me $5,000 cash in a FedEx envelope. And when I land, pay me another $5,000 cash. And I was like, let's do it.
Wow.
Blind faith, brother. I said, we're going to do it. I don't remember how I got the money, brother. Because I remember I went to apply at American General Finance. I probably asked my sister-in-law to loan me some money. Whatever, I got the 5 racks together. And it was Monday when I talked to Roger. By Wednesday, he had 5 racks. And then an airline ticket to come to Phoenix.
Wow.
And he's like, okay, let's get ready. We're going to do it. And when he landed in Phoenix, I had another $5,000 for him. It was so long ago, and I worked so hard, and I just can't remember how all the money came together, you know? Wow. Some of the guys that I was working with, they'd loan me like whatever they can, 500, 1,000, whatever it was. But we got it all together. And that's how I worked. That was how I did my first record with Roger Troutman. And that's how we dropped Down for Yours, featuring Roger Troutman.
So you pick them up. Because this is the interesting part for me.
Yeah.
And you drive them where?
Directly to my house.
So you recorded this at your house?
At my house, yeah.
With 1 ADAT?
With 1 ADAT. And Roger, when he saw me working the ADAT, he's like, I have a job for you. He goes, you're so good at that, you can come work for me. He says, I don't like to deal with all that. I'm like, okay, Raj, that's cool.
Wow.
So yeah, he tried to give me a job working his ADAT and stuff. He's probably just giving me a compliment, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But me and Roger became good friends after that.
Really?
We became good friends after that. I would text him all the time. He would say, if you got any more features for me, let me know. And then later my price came down a little bit, you know. But the first one was 10 racks, and it was a home run though. It was a home run because after I dropped that record, every company in the world wanted to sign me.
Wow. Did you take any pictures with them during that time or anything?
Yeah, I have some pictures. I mean, I have to really search deep for them. My son Daniel, who now is 23, I have a picture of me, Roger, and Daniel. And Daniel was, how old was he, baby?
Months.
He was like a few months old. And Roger was holding Daniel, and it was me and him, you know, the day we recorded that song.
And you took that chance, raised up $10,000, airplane ticket, brought him to your house. I probably, and this is just me, would have said, fuck, I'm not bringing him to a regular studio, I'm bringing him to my house.
Yeah.
You know, did he at all say like, what are we recording?
No, he didn't worry about it. He's like, okay, this is where we work, let's get to it. Wow. You know, I had carpet on the walls. That was my baffling. You know, I had green carpet. I had green carpet on the walls, and we did it. But Roger is such a professional. Roger was so talented. He did everything he did on that song. He did it in like 2 hours.
Wow.
And like he had given me all the tracks already. The ADAT was full.
Right.
And he said, is that good enough? And then he said, Jesus, fellas, because it was me, him, and Leo Blaze, L-Dog. We were all in the studio when we were recording, and he says, Jesus, fellas. And he had already lined up like to go see some girls or probably go, you know, get party or whatever. So he wanted to leave. You know, we got to the house maybe, I say by 11 a.m., 12 o'clock. By 2 o'clock, he was ready to go. Ready to go. So we took him to a hotel room, and that was it. You know?
Wow. So now that was a home run. Did you ever end up signing to anyone?
I did. When that bidding war was going on, I sat. This is what happened. You know those custom songs that I was doing at the swap meet?
Yes.
Someone came to the swap meet. A Jewish lady came to the swap meet, and she said, "Could you do those at a bar mitzvah?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "But the bar mitzvah's in New York." And I'm like, "We can go to New York, right, baby?" She booked me to go to New York. And it just so happened that my record blew up on Power, and Don Parker sent it to Universal, to Atlantic Records, to Electro Records, to Mercury Records, and a man named Daniel Glass got it too. Daniel Glass had just finished doing the Vanilla Ice run, and he was just starting his own label called Glass Note Records. So Daniel Glass had called me too, and everybody was calling me, and I was like, and somebody from Universal called me, and they said Doug Morris wants to meet with you. I didn't know who Doug Morris was.
Right.
You know, he's a chairman of the board at Universal Records. This is like saying Tommy Mottola wants to meet with you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna be in New York. Let's do this. So either before the bar mitzvah or after, I don't remember. When do you remember? It was after. After the bar mitzvah, we went to Universal Records, and it was me and my wife, my best man Barry, who is from New York, and Barry's wife. So all four of us we walk to, the 58th floor in downtown New York. And when we walk in, is the first time I saw a TV that said something on it that was, this is way back then, right? Yeah. And it said, "Welcome MC Magic." And I was like, Universal Records has a TV that says "Welcome MC Magic"? They were just wooing me. They wanted me to say, this is your home. And remember, I'm from Arizona, and so Doug Morris, we were sitting waiting to see him, and somebody came from the front desk and said, "Mr. Morris is ready to see you." I said, "Come on, guys, let's go." All four of us get up to walk in. They go, "Oh, no. Mr. Morris will only see you." I'm like, "But this is my wife."
Yeah.
This is my wife. And he's like, "Doug Morris will only see you." And I said, "This is my best man and his wife."
Right.
And it was Barry who said, "Go ahead, Mo. You go take care of it. I got this." So he stayed in the lobby with his wife and my wife, and I went in to see Doug Morris. And so inside of Doug Morris's office, it was like a movie, bro. It was like a gangster movie. He real soft spoken, dark wood, big old desk, leather couches, and I sat down right there. He said to me, "Magic, you really caught lightning in a bottle." And on the phone conversation, Daniel Glass had already told me he's going to tell you that you caught lightning in a bottle. And I was like, this is just what Daniel told me, right? This is what Daniel Glass told me.
Yes.
He says, "Let me tell you something, Magic." He goes, "Right now at Universal Records, we have no West Coast representation." I didn't know what the hell that meant.
Right.
He says, "You will be our priority act if you bring Nasty Boy Click to Universal Records." And I didn't even know what that meant, bro. And in the plane, I told my wife, I says, we're not leaving with less than $100,000. And so that was a big deal to me. I had just spent 10 grand on Roger.
Right.
And so 100 grand was a big number to me, right?
Right.
And then Daniel Glass also on the phone told me, he goes, "Whatever they offer you, I'll match it." I'm like, all right. So I already knew I had that blanket, And so Doug Morris told me, he says, "Magic, what is it going to take to get you to sign the contract today?" I said, 200 grand. That's the minimum I'll do. I doubled my number. I just said, "Let's go for it," right? And he goes, "Will you sign the contract today?" As soon as he said that, I'm like, "Oh, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't go there."
Yeah.
He said, "Will you sign the contract today?" I go, "That's the problem." I says, "My lawyer back home has to look at the contract before I even sign it." And he's like, "What if he give you 300 grand, Magic?" I'm like, "Wow, we're at 3 already."
Wow.
And so he goes, and I'm like, no. I was just thinking, I said, "Nah, dog, I really have to, I'll give you 350. How about an extra 50 just for you?" So we're at 350 grand now. And I'm like, that's crazy. His phone rings. Ring. And he picks up the phone. And now let me take you back a little bit. Back when I was at the swap meet, trying to get my little song "Lost in Love" played on the radio, yes, I would call the radio station and change my voice. "Hey, you guys got that new MC Magic?" I would. And there was one DJ, he was tough. His name is Super Snake. Super Snake would say, "Magic, I know this is you. Stop fucking calling the radio station. Nobody wants to hear your shit." But he was also the most popular DJ in Arizona.
Wow.
Nobody wants to hear that shit. Quit calling. I'm like, fuck you, Snake. So anyway, the phone rang at Doug Morris's office. And so they dealt with radio stations. They knew who the most popular people in town were. And he goes, yeah, Magic's right here. Let me let you talk to him. And Doug gave me his phone. And I'm like, hello? And Super Snake said, don't be a fucking dummy. You better sign that contract today. I was like, Super Snake? I go, here you go, Doug. I'm done. I left.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
To me, that was shady practices, you know?
Yeah.
And then calling somebody that hated me, but he thought that's the most popular. That's like having, DJ E-Man call you. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
Back in that day, when he was the most popular guy on the radio.
Right.
And so I already knew I had Daniel Glass in my back pocket anyway. So I left Universal Records that day.
Wow. Okay. Shit. What an amazing story.
Yeah.
So you come home. Do you start working on another album soon after that? What took place after that?
Well, let me finish that chapter first. We went ahead and signed with Daniel Glass.
Okay.
He started his independent called Glass Note Records, and he signed us to his independent, which was distributed by Mercury Records.
Okay.
And the reason Mercury didn't really pay a lot of attention to Nasty Boy Click, number one, they were in New York. Our buzz was in Arizona and started to spread to Albuquerque, in Palm Springs. It was starting to grow from Phoenix. And these guys in New York, they just didn't get it. They didn't understand it, and these Mexican kids, they're not even black, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was rap, you know what I'm saying? So Mercury had another album that they were dropping kind of at the same time as ours. And people at radio would tell me, well, the rep at Mercury is telling me that you guys are not the priority. We were doing a promo tour, and they would tell me, Bruce at Mercury told me that the priority is Brian McKnight, not you guys. But we're getting a lot of requests for your record, but we have to play what they tell us to play. That was the radio station telling me that.
Right.
And so I was like, damn. So it didn't work. It didn't work because Mercury Records didn't get behind, Nasty Boy Click.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that I did have my lawyer review the contract, and Connie Mabelson, bless her heart, she had a clause in there that if they didn't exercise the second option, we were free, completely free. So a year after the Nasty Boy Click first album, that was called The First Chapter.
Yes.
The year after the first chapter, we were free from all strings.
Wow. So, and here you go, going into this business that you're educating yourself, you're teaching yourself, you're learning now the business side of it. You know? I forgot to ask you one question, and I'm going to ask you right now before we go to break. Do you remember when you first went up on stage and they said, here you go, Magic, perform? Do you remember your first booking?
Let me go back, because if you consider DJing going on stage,
as far as rapping, yes,
yeah, I do remember that. There was a rap contest at the Celebrity Theater in Phoenix. Celebrity Theater has a round stage.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, shit, I'm a rapper. I'll give it a shot. This is before I wrote Lost in Love. I remember I had a song called Gimme That Hoochie Coo. That was right in the Too Short era, right?
Right.
So I was like, let me go with something like that. Give me that hoochie coo. And so I said, I got this one, so I'll join. It was a rap contest. And so every rapper in that contest was black. So here comes this little Mexican dude. As soon as I even walked on stage, they started booing.
Really?
As soon as I walked, they didn't even give me a chance to start. They started booing, but I said, fuck it, play the music anyway. And I don't think that I probably got through half of one verse. Like, fuck you guys, I left the stage.
Wow.
It's like being a amateur night at the Apollo.
Right.
They just started booing because I wasn't black.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going to take a 10-minute break. We're going to come right back. We're going to pick up right where we left off, and we're going to talk about MB Riders. We're going to talk about your hits, what you're doing now, what can people expect, who you're working with, etc.
No doubt.
So, wow. Let me go ahead and tell you guys once again, I need to remind you to call somebody, text somebody, page somebody, slap shit out somebody, let them know that MC Magic's in the motherfucking building. Right now, I'm blown away by this man's story. So make sure you definitely let somebody know. Go use the restroom, go take a crap, get your popcorn, get your food. If you're drinking Red Bulls or those guys that drink White Claws, make sure you guys get back, and MC Magic is in the motherfucking building. Take us away, Johnny.
West Coast and all hip-hop fans, this is your girl Violet Brown, and I'm here with Tony A. the Wizard. And if you're rolling with us right now, that means that you love West Coast hip-hop. And if you want to know the real deal from the real players, the real people behind the scenes, you better pick up Tony's new film, Roadium Mixtape Documixery. You get it by going to documixery.com. You better get this. And I want to do a special shout out and a rest in peace to my man Steve Yano. I'm out.
Yo, what's up? It's Bella. I'm here on Roadium Radio with my boy Tony A. the Wizard. Stay tuned.
Yo, it's Ray Monique on Roadium Radio with Tony A. the motherfucking Wizard. Tune in and subscribe.
What's going down, everybody? This is Big Rich G here at Roadium Radio with Tony A. You guys got to check this out, man. Don't miss out. Tune in.
It's your boy Producer A here at Roadium Radio. It's your boy Tony A. Make sure y'all subscribe every Sunday, Wednesday, 7 p.m. with the dopest podcast popping in the motherfucking West Coast. Make sure y'all subscribe. Peace.
Yeah, this is Pablito here at Roadium Radio. I'm here with Tony A. the Wizard. Tune in.
What's cracking? It's your boy Noel G in the house, aka Hector. You guys know what time it is, right here with the Roadium Radio Show, hosted by your boy Tony A. the Wizard. Keep listening. We got something good for you.
You'll call somebody, text somebody, slap the shit out of somebody. Let them know that Roadium Radio is live up in this biatch.
Roadium Radio. Visit your deal on Roadium Radio. Grab a seat on my meat with Tony A. the Wizard. This is your deal on Roadium Radio. Pull your panties to the side and enjoy the ride. Tony A, the Wizard.
Tear shit up. Hey, yo, D, you got a level? D, hit record, man.
Get busy with Easy and Tony A on the 12 techniques. See? Here's a little something by a nigga like me. They never should have been trying to take from me. Yo, this is your name and me. You don't like Tony A or fuck. I'm rocking shit at the Roadium.
Welcome back, everybody, to Roadium Radio, episode 65. And check this out. We're just going to go ahead and jump right back into it. So, 1998, you dropped, if I'm correct, your second Nasty Boy Click album.
That's right. It was called The Second Coming.
The Second Coming, okay.
Yeah.
And how did that album do?
Okay, so after we finished with not Universal, with Mercury Records and Glass Note, it really didn't work out.
Yes.
So we were back to being solo. And to be honest with you, the whole 1997 we were doing lots of promo gigs, going to stations all over the Southwest, California, Denver, Chicago. We were visiting all kinds of markets, and so the group was starting to get kind of antsy. The reason they were getting antsy is because when you do promo shows, you don't get paid.
Right.
You know, and so I'm toting 4 guys across the nation. They're like, "Oh man, we need to get paid." I had given them a big check when we got the payment.
Yeah.
But you know, we ran through money like crazy.
Yeah.
This is someone that I'm someone that never had really a budget to do anything.
Right.
So I was buying everybody's shoes, everybody's pants, we had custom made jerseys in 3 colors. And it was just, I was spending so much money that I even had to give them a little bit here and there. And they were just getting upset to the point where, like, just forget the group then. Forget the group. Let me just go back to being solo. We're good.
Wow.
So then we happened to do a sticker stop. Back in the day, radio stations used to do sticker stops.
Yes.
And we were doing a sticker stop with Not Power, the B station in Phoenix. It was called The Party 103.9. And the guy programming the station was Rick Thomas. So when we were at the sticker stop, Rick told me, he says, "Magic, don't you have another record that kind of sounds like Down for Yours?" He says, "I listened to the album and it seems like that's the only one that's got that vibe." Really, it's become the MC Magic sound, you know?
Right.
And I'm like, "Well, Rick, I have this old song called Lost in Love from my first album." And he's like, let me see how it sounds. And so I played it for him and he's like, "This is a hit." So he gave it a rebirth. I had already had a little bit of success with it back in 95.
Yeah.
But in 98, Rick Thomas put it on. It was like the end of 97, maybe even. He put it on, and it became like a local hit, like right away again. I was like, I thought that song was old, you know?
Right.
So it became a hit again, and there was this independent label from San Jose, California, ran by John Lopez. John Lopez called me. He's like, yo, I want to sign this Nasty Boy Clique. He goes, I love their song Lost in Love. I go, no, that's not even a Lost in Love record. It's not a Nasty Boy Clique. That's an MC Magic record.
Right.
It's from my first album. He goes, no, but Nasty Boy Clique's the one that did Down for Yours. I go, yeah, it's all mine. It's all my work.
Right.
And he's like, it's got to be Nasty Boy Clique with Lost in Love. And by that time, everybody was broke. Everybody was asking for money. And John offered us a crappy deal, but we got 40 grand out of it.
Right.
We got 40 grand out of it, and I pulled everybody together, and I'm like, guys, let's go do this new album, man. We got this. Here's a little bit of, and everybody got a little bit of money. And so that's the story of most artists. You chase that check. Eventually, I learned better. It took me a long time, but I learned better.
Right.
And so when John gave us that little advance to do the Second Coming, that's when we had Lost in Love come out as Nasty Boy Clique. Now it was no longer the MC Magic album.
Okay.
And matter of fact, I don't think we ever had even a second single off that album. Oh yeah, we did. We had Perfect Man.
Okay.
Perfect Man did decent too. And then so the second album, it did great for John. I'm sure. I'm sure John probably made a couple million off of it.
Okay. So from 98 to maybe you could fill in the blanks. And the reason why I'm jumping ahead a little bit, because there's so much history here that it is impossible to cover your history in the span of 2 hours or hour and a half.
No doubt.
So that's why, with your permission, I like to jump ahead a little bit.
Okay, cool.
So 2001, September 11th, NB Writers album drops.
Yeah.
How did that transition go from Nasty Boy Clique to NB Writers?
What happened was, after I signed this bad deal with John, I wasn't happy again. I was like, man, I just want to leave, bro. I want to leave. Release me from my contract. You can keep the record. You keep the whole group. I don't care. I just want to leave. Kind of like what Dre did to Death Row.
Right.
So he goes, Magic, you can leave, but you can't take the name. Nasty Boy Clique now belongs to me. And I was like, what?
Wow.
I was like, fuck it. I don't care. So he let me out of the contract.
Right.
He let me out of the contract, and so I went home and started working on new records. And the guys from the group, they still kind of wanted to work with me, but they also belong to John now. And Dawes told me, he says, Magic, how did you get out the deal with John? I go, I just asked him to release me. He wanted to keep the name, so I said, fuck it, keep the name. I'm gonna just do me. And so I was still working on songs, and Dawes, he kept visiting me. He's like, I want to be on those songs too. So me and Dawes were kind of building a new thing.
Right. And
I was like, I'm gonna start a new group. I'll turn Nasty Boy Clique to NB Riders, and I really had a few names in mind. It was either NB Clique, NB Riders, AZ Riders, but I went with NB Riders to still keep my label name in it.
Yes.
Nasty Boy. And then Riders is also Riders, but it also has AZ at the end. Representing AZ, and so we went with NB Riders, and it was me and Dawes, and I have my son in the group now.
Okay.
Marco was 11 years old, so I put Marco in the group, and I put my son Darren, my nephew Darren in the group. So we were the first NB Riders. I had one song featuring Zigzag, who was still with John. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to release that as the single. So I paid Zig to sign off on his verse. And so that song was called Runaway. And Runaway, I released it as a single, and it had Angelina's voice, but I didn't want John to know it was Angelina, so I didn't put Angelina's name on the credits.
Okay.
And he's like, they were like, this sounds like Angelina.
Right.
So because Angelina was John's artist.
Yes.
And I was already having success, because now after traveling the United States and meeting all these people at radio, I was taking their numbers too. So I was said, here's my new record. And they're like, oh, this is not on Upstairs Records, not on John's label. And I'm like, no, it's just Nasty Boy. It's just Nasty Boy Records. But they're like, fuck it, we like it. So they played it, and Runaway was becoming a hit. And John called me. He's like, Magic, come on, we got to work together, man. Come on. I was like, John, you know, it's just this and that and the other. And he's like, we got to make a deal, Magic. Bring the group back to my label. He says, I'll pay you guys good money this time. So he probably paid us what he owed us from the first album.
Exactly.
But we needed money.
Right.
We needed money. And one of the deals, I told him, I said, you no longer own my name. Even if we don't work in it, even if we break up again, you no longer own MB Riders. He's like, you got it. Deal. So John agreed not to take my name again.
Right.
But now I was already making MB Riders popular. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This MB Riders with Runaway was cracking. And so because of Runaway, we made a deal with John. I think we ended up getting like $200,000 from John. Wow. To come back, which is a decent amount, you know, which was a decent amount back then. And I remember he had to pay me in payments too, because now I know that he was waiting on his distribution check to get there, and so he could give me the money that already belonged to me.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, so that comes out September 11th.
It was that was before John called me. Okay. But on September 11th, that was our drop date, and that was the date that the towers were attacked with the airplanes and stuff, right? And so that day we were supposed to go on the radio at that little station, the Power Party 103.9, and they called me and they said, Magic, you can't bring the group in for an interview this morning. I'm like, why? They're like, just turn on the news. And obviously the towers were being attacked. We watched the second airplane hit. The first one had already hit, and we watched the second one live on TV.
Yeah, I saw the second one live here as well. I was woken up by my brother, if I'm correct, and he tells me, turn on the TV, and all I saw was just a hole, on a tower. Yeah. And then here comes the second one. Like,
it's crazy, man.
It was really crazy. Now let me ask you this other question here, because now, I know that happened in 01. Because of that, I don't know if you can expect much from an album. How did it still do?
Even with the setback of 9/11, Runaway was a good record. And that's the thing, is when you have a good record, it finds its way.
Okay.
It finds its way. And the reason, I have this theory. When you put something on YouTube, it's got to be good enough for someone to say, damn, I like this so much. I want my brother to hear it. I want my sister to hear it. I want my girlfriend to hear it. You're on YouTube and you see a video that you really like, you copy that link and you send it to somebody.
Yes.
Whether your bro, your homie, someone you work with. And so that's my theory, is when you put something on YouTube, it's got to be good enough to share. That's music too.
Yeah.
Runaway was that song that people said, they kept sharing it, and so it grew, and that's how we were able to release another album.
Okay.
And then, like I said, the group was still having problems, even though we were working together. We just came back together for money, drop a few verses, record a song, and so it was getting rocky. It was getting rocky. Not only that, the guys were kind of the guys were in the group were kind of getting upset that MC Magic was making more money. The founder, the creator, the producer was making more money than them, and so eventually we just had to break it off completely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know you being a DJ, I have two questions before we get into the 2004 release date of the second NB Riders album.
Yeah.
You being a DJ, all this time now that you're producing, you guys are traveling, did you ever get a DJ yourself?
Never.
Okay.
Yeah, we never had a DJ. In the beginning, DJ Too Swift would come with us.
Okay.
But we had to learn to do it without a DJ, because remember I told you that they sent us on a promo tour.
Okay.
They told us we can only pay for 4 people to come.
Okay.
If you want your DJ to come, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
If you want your road manager to come, you got to pay for it. Because I had a road manager who was also my mix engineer, Cheney Harp, who now works for Chris Brown and Rihanna.
Okay.
Amongst many other artists. But anyway, the budget took the DJ out because we couldn't take him on the promo tour. And then it's funny that you ask about that, because DJ Too Swift got so heated and so mad that we couldn't take him on the road. He just didn't understand budget.
Right.
He's like, come on, I thought I was fucking part of the group.
Yeah.
I thought I was part of the group. So I tried to do him a favor, and I called Rick Thomas. I said, Rick Thomas, I'm like, yo, man, my DJ, he needs some extra work. So I got him a gig at the radio station.
Okay.
But he wasn't happy with that. He didn't like it. I don't know exactly how many times he went over there. I did what I could to help him out. And that's one thing about being a leader of something too. Everybody expects you to carry their weight, and that's a tough boat. When feeding my family is one thing, but feeding 5 families,
right?
Yeah.
And one thing that a lot of people have to understand, that when you do promotional tours, there's no money.
No, promo tours, you get nothing.
You get nothing. So to take extra people, because I know when I did a promotional tour we were gone for almost a whole month, and it was just me, High C, and our road manager. And believe me, I had the homies that wanted to go, and because I can't take you, he's a fucking asshole. He sold out. He's Hollywood,
just like that. Yep.
And I'm like, I can't take you. Period.
Yeah.
So believe me, I've been there, and then you have people today still that look. I could just imagine your list of people that magic help.
Yeah.
And believe me, the same thing. Tony, when are you going to interview? Tony, do you got a record? Well, no. Do you got a book? No. Do you sing? No. Do you act? No. Oh, what am I going to interview you about? I got a story. The paletero has a story.
You want to get on stage and you ain't even got one song.
And then you get mad. And believe me, it's a hard position. The place to be.
I know it is, and it's tough to really tell people the truth, because a lot of people take the truth for hate.
Yes.
Like if you tell somebody, bro, you ain't got enough followers. Oh, you hating on me now, huh? Bro, you got no buzz.
Yeah.
Like people tell me I got a good song, but it's not doing no numbers on YouTube. Listen, if a good song gets shared, the theory I told you, if you have an amazing song, someone's gonna share it, and that person's gonna share it. Right. So eventually good music does grow, and a lot of people say I have great songs but nobody wants to hear them. And so it's tough. It's tough when people really think they got it, and denial is always our first thing.
Yeah,
it's a human trait.
And you know what, I always tell people, Tony, do I need millions of followers to get on your podcast? And I shared with you earlier that this kind of took off by accident. We were going to go off the air within 2 to 3 months.
Right.
We kept it going. Subscribers kept going. But I have to get people that people are going to want to tune in for.
Of course. You got to keep it interesting.
Yes.
And that's what everybody does. Charlemagne and them, that's why they got so many listeners. They make the simplest thing interesting.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Breakfast Club, whether it's Big Boy, whatever podcast, the Joe Rogan podcast that just got signed to be exclusive on Spotify for $100 million.
$100 million.
So you got to have interesting content. You got to be able to grab people and make them say, man, I can't get away from this.
Right.
And so, a lot of times if you're interviewing someone that doesn't have enough of a following, it doesn't bring that value to your show. And so it's hard for people to understand that.
It is.
Yeah.
So now let's jump right back into it. So here we have 2004 MB Riders, So Fly.
Yeah.
By the way, I like the song.
Thank you.
Those are probably my kids' favorite song.
That's dope. So Fly and Pretty Girl were absolutely gems from that album.
Okay.
And again, that was me in the studio going, I have to top the last thing I did. I have to.
Awesome.
And just really working on songs that were amazing. And So Fly, it just so happens, like I told you about that DJ Too Swift that I had not been working with for a while because he was mad that we didn't go on the road. But he was still kind of a friend, even though some days mad, some days not. He called me once and he said, Magic, I got this beat of CDs. There's the CD of beats that I made.
Yes.
He said, I want you to take a listen to them. He goes, they're old beats, man, but you can have them. And so it was a blue Memorex CD, and then that beat, that So Fly came on. I'm like, oh, this is hot. It was like a beat number 4 or 5 on the disc. And I called Too Swift. I go, hey, this beat right here is the one I like. He goes, you got it, bro. It's yours. I'm like, I got to pay you for it, bro. I can't just take it free.
Right.
Being the type of person that I am, handling business, I got to pay you something. And he says, give me $100 for it. I go, I'll pay you $200. How about that? As long as you sign my paper that said I bought it from you. He says, let's do it, Magic. So he came to my house. He signed my paper. I paid him his $200. And then I took him in the studio and showed him what I did with it.
Wow.
Yeah, because by that time, I had already put the hook on it.
Right.
It was like, you look so fly. It was banging. And he went in there. He was like, wow. He was blown away. So that's So Fly, brother. And that was our first single. Did really, really well. Did really, really well.
you still rock concerts.
Oh,
with that
yeah.
damn
Yeah,
song.
yeah, still.
That's awesome. Now, jumping a little bit ahead. I don't know if I should have introduced it before or after. You give me the timeline. When did you pick up and say, I'm going to try the damn talk box?
That was way before even this. After 97, 98, I think Roger died around 99, if I'm around that time. And when Roger died, I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to work with Roger again. No more talk box. And I was kind of having like anxiety about it.
Wow.
But I told myself, what if I learned to play the talk box? And so I called Lester again. I called Lester. I go, Les. He says, what I got to do to have you build me a talk box just like Roger's? And Lester told me, he goes, you know what you're asking for? and you know, Lester's that type of guy. You know, he's a no-nonsense type of guy. And I knew that I could go buy a Golden Throat talk box, but I wanted the one Roger had. And so you can buy one at Guitar Center for $100, $150, $200. I didn't want that one.
Right.
I want the one Roger was using because I want my sound to be authentic. And theirs was homemade. You know, there wasn't an aftermarket thing. It wasn't something you can buy. And so Lester said, how much are you willing to pay for it? Now, me knowing that at a Guitar Center I can get it for $200, he knows that too.
Right.
I told Lester, I said, man, Les, I don't want to disrespect you, bro. He goes, of course. I said, I can afford about $1,000 right now. And he goes, okay, Marco. He's always called me by my first name. He goes, this is what I want you to do. He says, I want you to get on eBay and find a Yamaha DX100. You buy that keyboard. When you have that keyboard, send it with a money order to me, and I'll work on your talk box. So I did. I went on eBay, found a keyboard for a couple $100, and then I put that together in a package and sent the money order to Lester. And I kind of forgot about it, to be honest with you. It was just working, and one day a package showed up, and I was like, I wonder what this is.
Yeah.
And it was a driver, an amp, and the reason he needed the keyboard is so that he can upload Roger's patches into my keyboard. Whoo, bro. Thank you, Roger.
Wow.
It's that amazing, bro. It's that amazing.
Wow.
And I even learned how to transfer those patches into other keyboards as well. So now I have like 30 of those keyboards, all with the patches just in case.
Wow.
I have the talk box with me too, bro.
Really?
Amen. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I'm just like wow right now that I don't even know where to go from here. But
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
The first record that I made with the talk box where I was playing it, not Roger, was that song that I told you about, Runaway.
Yes.
That was doing really good for us, and John wanted us to come back to work with him again.
Okay. At what point in time did you think about, let me just take this to the sage now? You know?
Oh, as soon as I learned how to play one song on the talk box, because I'm not a keyboard player, but I memorized the ooh, I wanna run away with. As soon as I learned how to play that, I practiced. I knew I wanted to play it on stage. I was just fiending to do that on stage.
Wow.
And actually, the talk box caused a little division too, because I have the whole group on stage, and I'm getting so much more attention. And when people hear the talk box, it's like magic coming out the speakers. The people acted a different way, so it started causing even more attention between me and the boys, because I was getting more attention on stage.
It's funny because I've DJ'd for a lot of cats, and there was always a time when they would like introduce me and I would cut it up, okay? And after, when we go off stage and the people wanted pictures or autographs or whatnot, a lot of times, because my set was at the very end, that's what stayed in their mind. So they were talking to me, and a lot of the rapper guys that I was with were getting pissed off.
Yeah.
It's guy, ya se cree mucho este cabrón, you know. Guys thinks he's a superstar now. Guy. And I was like, dude, I've always thought like this. There's enough shine for everyone. There's enough money for everyone.
You're right about that, but also the male ego is a tough beast, bro. The male ego is a tough beast to tame.
Yeah.
You know, no matter which way you cut it up, you know what I'm saying? We have egos.
You know, I don't know how to present this question, but I think you will understand it when I share it with you. in your career, even still now, do you still experience a lot of hate from?
Nah, never. The most hate that I see or hear is when someone tells me, "Hey man, this homie over there said you were a piece of shit, that your rap sucks." I'm like, how come that homie never tells me in my face?
Right.
Nobody's ever hated on me directly in front of me.
Okay.
No one. Even when I was at the swap meet, I'd have dudes come up and say, "Bro, I rap, bro. You want to freestyle?" I go, "You sure you want to freestyle against me?" I do this all day. And I'll let you go first, but I'm telling you. And a lot of times when they did freestyle against me, it was not good.
Right, and they don't even realize that you're doing this from 8 or 7 to 3.
Yeah.
Non-stop. You're already warmed up.
Yeah.
You know, so
and not only that, a lot of times I couldn't freestyle them because I had too many damn orders. You know.
Right.
My orders they were stacked. You know.
Wow. You know, it's funny. A lot of I ask a lot of rappers this. You know, do you receive a lot of hate? And the males, it's funny. They'll say, "Not really. Nobody's ever came up to me, said anything." But it's so weird when I ask the females. Yeah, by who? I'm thinking other females. No, it's dudes.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's what I thought.
That's crazy.
I was like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "Yeah, dudes. They hate on me. This bitch is whack. This bitch is trash. This bitch is." And I'm like, who would talk to a female like that?
Yeah, man. That is, come on. God's most beautiful creation is a woman. Come on now. How can you disrespect a woman?
Yeah.
I know. We all came from a woman.
Absolutely. And that, I didn't get that. So jumping ahead once again, because your history is so long that it is impossible to try to cram everything up. So please forgive me as we move on.
Yeah.
2006, you dropped Magic City.
Magic City, man, that was a life-changing album too, bro.
Share why a life-changing album.
Because I had already created Nasty Boy Click, and it was popular. I had already created MB Riders, and it was popular. And I had to kill MB Riders. I had to stop the group and go back to being solo MC Magic. So people are expecting another MB Riders song, sound, or whatever. And so I needed to make a song and debut this in a way that people said, "Shh, this has been the guy all along." You know, I'm the mastermind in the studio trying to do this and that and the other. And I even premeditated how I want my first stage performance to be.
Wow.
You know, and my first performance was at the Lowrider Super Show at the Arizona State Fair in 2006, the year that I dropped Magic City. And that was the first time that I conjured up in my mind, if I bring out the Mexican flag and the American flag while playing Vicente Fernandez and I walk on stage, that's going to shake people. It made me cry that first time I did it, bro. It was so powerful, it made me cry. And you know, but it's beautiful. It was a good thing. It got so emotional that all my people in Phoenix were screaming for me just as hard as when I was MB Riders, even more. That it just took me there, bro. So Magic City was a transformational album. And not only that, if you hear Magic City from the first to the end, that's my best album I've ever produced.
Awesome.
That's my best album I've ever produced, in my opinion. Not only that, it's got Sexy Lady, it's got All My Life, it's got You Could Tell Your Lies, it's got Ride It Out, Baby, Ride Out. I mean, songs are amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think this is kind of like the first interview that I've done that I've been less speechless.
Really?
I'm dead serious. my audience will tell you, these guys will tell you, wow, I'm blown away, because here's what I see. A kid that came from Mexico, lived in low-income housing, okay? Wanted to be a DJ, did it. DJ for free, went to the swamp meet, started taking dedications, went to New York, started creating music, and now you're up on stage with the Mexican American flag, bumping Vicente Fernandez by yourself.
Yeah, it's amazing, bro. And still today, when my intro comes on, you know, especially if the crowd's a little tipsy, man, people lose their mind. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. We do the Art LeBeau show every year. Con favor de Dios, they'll find a way to do it this year too. Art LeBeau at the San Manuel Arena out there in out by San Bernardino. I don't know if you ever been to that.
No, I haven't.
Man, it's like a Raza holiday, bro.
I'm gonna have to go up this year.
What do we have last year? 17,000? 19,000 people last year in 2019. And when I come through the crowd to the stage with my two flags and Vicente playing, man, it's amazing, bro.
Now, maybe see if you can remember, when is the first time or what year that you headline. They say we want you to headline. You know, but by yourself. Was it Magic City album?
Well, yeah, it was. It was Magic City album, and I actually had MC Magic shows even before I created Nasty Boy Click.
Okay.
Yeah, I had MC Magic shows. Me and Cheney would go out. Cheney was my engineer and my road manager as well.
Okay.
So me and Cheney and my wife, we would do shows, you know, mostly just in Arizona. Go to Tucson, go up to the Indian Reservation, Navajo Nation, and things like that. So I did a lot of shows. So I can't recall, you know, when I was, you know, all right, I got my show down, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been doing shows forever and being on stage. But when Magic City came out, that's when I transformed to the MC Magic that people know now.
People know now.
You know, and not only that, the whole reason I put Magic City on my talk box was because I was promoting my album.
Yes.
But it's been there ever since. I never took it off because it became a brand.
Wow.
You know, the t-shirts that we sell say Magic City on them, you know?
Awesome.
So Magic City, in essence, is the city where my music lives.
Yes. Yes. To jump a little bit ahead, 2008, Magic City Part 2.
Yeah.
Guest appearances, if I'm correct, Baby Bash, Too Short, Jingle Bling, Big Gemini, and DJ Kane of the Cumbia Kings.
Yeah.
Okay. How did that album do?
Well, that album did well. Magic City, let's go back to Magic City 1. Magic City 1 was so good because I had Sexy Lady. I came off of the hype of MB Riders, and when we dropped Sexy Lady, it just caught fire.
Yes.
There's a regular Billboard chart, and then there's an independent chart. That's called the Heat Seekers.
Yes.
We debuted at #1 on Billboard. #1 Billboard Heat Seekers. That was the independent album chart. So Magic City was good. I still didn't have my distribution deal. I still had to, piece things together as far as distribution. Still trying to learn it too.
Right.
You know, because Steve Yano knew a lot of things that you didn't know.
Exactly.
You know?
Absolutely.
And so I was still trying to learn that. And the people that know the distribution game, they don't just give it to you because they want you to need them.
Of course.
They want you to need them. And also make the money too. And so Magic City did well. Magic City did amazing. And it did great things for my career. And that was distributed by, this is the first time that I said, I own the masters, you're just going to distribute them and we'll share the profits.
Yes.
I took it to Bill Walker at Thump Records. And so Bill distributed my first album, Magic City. And again, we get to the money situation. He starts, sales have not been that great, Magic, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, come on, Bill, you owe me like $200,000. Just it's my part of the pie, you know? And he's like, yeah, Magic, but this and that, blah, blah. And so I got a new album though, and he's like, "Oh, let's bring it over here." I'm like, well, the last one didn't do that good, then why do you want the next one?
Right.
And he's like, "Magic, let's do Magic City Part 2. Let's do Magic City Part 2." So I used Bill to get my own label. Let me tell you why. Magic City Part 2 was magical because that was the first time that I told Bill. I said, "Listen, Bill, give me half of what you owe me." So he wrote me a check for $100,000. Give me half of what you owe me. And tell Universal Records that the digital part of this has to be directly with Nasty Boy Records. You don't have a piece of that. He goes, "Oh, come on, Magic. You want to cut me out of the digital, Magic? What kind of shit is that?" I go, "No deal, bro." "All right, fuck it, let's do it." That's just how Bill Walker is, you know?
Yes.
And so Bill Walker kind of told Universal Records, give this guy a distribution deal, but only for his digital. So after we got done with Magic City Part 2, I was able to cut him out because I already had a direct with Universal.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so I started with just digital. Not only that, I didn't know. I just took a chance. But that was when YouTube was starting to really get popular. And matter of fact, my Sexy Lady video, my son filmed it at the radio station. Him and his friend Paul, they edited it and put it up on Paul's page. Got 9 million views.
Damn.
9 million views. And I'm like, man, maybe I should start a YouTube channel. Yeah. You know, so that's when I started my YouTube channel with the first single from Magic City Part 2, which was called Girl, I Love You. And Girl, I Love You is still one of my biggest records, like 17 million hits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. One thing that I always get when people mention MC Magic, I wonder how many girls got pregnant through an MC Magic song.
People tell me that. People tell me, "Bro, I had all my kids to your music, bro. Lost in Love, Girl, I Love You, all my life." All of them, bro. They tell me that at the concerts. And the girls laugh. They're like, "Yeah, we did." Yeah, I even say that when I perform Lost in Love. I go, has anybody ever made love to this record? And people go crazy.
Awesome. So here we have 2011, The Rewire.
The Rewire.
And that one actually had an up-and-coming artist named Snow the Product.
Yeah. That's funny. Snow the Product was introduced to me by Romeo 602.
Yeah.
He called me and he said, "Yo, man, you got to mess with this Snow the Product, man. Nobody knows about her, and she's hot. She actually has skills." And so when I reached out to her, she was surprised that MC Magic was calling her. Because Snow the Product was just trying to make it, you know?
Right.
I think she just had her baby and she was living in Texas. And she charged me a couple $100 to do the verse. I think she said she'd do it free, but I never take nothing free from people.
Yeah.
So I paid her something, you know?
Right.
And and that was the first time that we featured Snow the Product, but she was called, before Snow the Product, she was called Snow White.
Okay.
And she had received a letter from Disney to stop using that name. And so I like the name Snow White, even though it does still say Snow the Product. I like the name Snow White. So that's why in the record you hear say Snow White, you know?
Okay, dope. By the way, let me give a shout out to Romeo because he's the one that hooked us up.
Thank you, Romeo. I appreciate you, brother. You're always out there creeping and crawling.
Thank you. 2014, $1 Million Mexican.
$1 Million Mexican, another one that is just amazing. And now, between the Rewire and $1 Million Mexican, MC Magic is an old school artist for radio, so radio wasn't supporting me. By this time, my music is really only internet success. Because even when you try to get with people on the radio, they're like, yeah, bro, but you know, and it's funny because the people that do have power at radio, they act like they don't.
Yeah.
They act like they don't. But anyway, I wasn't crying about radio. I just had to find different ways to promote my music.
Yeah.
And between the Rewire, between the end of Magic City Part 2 to the beginning of $1 Million Mexican, I decided that I had to go on the road. To promote my music. So me and my nephew Nick Dollars would be out. I'd leave for 6 months at a time, bro.
Wow.
And I'd rent a space at the New Mexico State Fair, at the Arizona State Fair, at the Pima County Fair. So I was on a fair circuit. This is a time when other artists were doing great at radio, but they weren't really acknowledging me anymore because I was an old school act.
Right.
But I was still meeting customers every day, meeting fans every day. And people still tell me, yo, I met you in Santa Rosa. Remember you were at the San Joaquin County Fair? And they remember that we took a photo that day. That's been another secret of mine that has really helped. I've probably taken photos with good 5 million fans, personal, one at a time. A good 5 million fans, and every one of them leave with a poster. I'd give them a free poster. We have a deal: buy 2 CDs for $20 and you get a free poster. So we would sell a lot. But if fans couldn't afford nothing, I'd at least give them a poster. And that's another thing that people always told me. Yeah, my daughter had her poster on her wall for a long time. Even today, people tell me, you know, and my fans will show me that in their room they still have my poster up.
That's awesome.
So I was marketing myself.
That's
all
awesome.
the time, you know.
That's awesome.
And the internet has been amazing.
Yeah, you know what? And that's what I tell a lot of people. There was a quote that I like to quote on here, and a lot of people like to make fun of me, and they'll say, because I say, promote yourself until it pays off. Mm-hmm. And people think that's just hilarious. And I'm like, okay, you have to use the internet, you have to use the resource, especially, you know, the Instagram, whether it be Twitter, whether it be Facebook, it's free.
Yeah.
Use
it. And I want to add to your deal. I don't remember who I heard this from. But it is a saying that somebody says, and the saying goes, work real hard, and when it's ready, promote. A lot of people are promoting nothing. If you're just promoting selfies, you got to be a hot girl. But if you have something to sell, that's when you actually promote hard. And promotion really, I hate this saying that people say, oh, here's another shameless plug. It's not shameless. That's what your brand is. Be proud of it. Don't be ashamed about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Well, you know what? Anything that I didn't ask you that I should have brought up.
I'm here for you, bro. I'm here for you. So I'm just telling you, you know, giving you
awesome.
My 2 cents, you know.
Today we have, and let's just say hypothetical scenario. You have a kid that says, hey, Magic, I'm a rapper. I've been getting good feedback. My followers are climbing. any type of advice that you can give me as an up and coming artist, say they're 17?
Yeah. Well, this is a couple things that I tell artists is try not to be a copycat, because people always like the original. Like if you ever met somebody to tell you, man, I got this rapper that sounds just like Eminem. Nobody wants to hear just like Eminem. They want to hear Eminem.
Right.
So try to find your original sound. That's what I advise to people. That's number one. Number two, know that labels no longer sign people, because people want to get signed. Know that labels no longer sign people on talent, because the fact of the matter is they don't know what talent is.
True.
Right? And all they want is something that sells, that gets streams, that makes money. And so you have to build your digital footprint, whether it's your YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. You got to build that so that someone can really pay attention to you. Labels aren't looking for talent because they don't know what talent is. Back in the day, Motown would actually make records with talented people, and then they just inserted singers. That's why Motown was so successful. The talent were the people making the songs,
yes,
and the artists would just come in and fill the blank.
Yes.
And so nowadays, labels can't do that, because they'll try that with little XYZ, and then someone on the internet named Soulja Boy just outsells everybody.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they've got to the point where they don't know what they're doing. So what they do is they chase what's successful. So be as successful as possible, and then the labels will pay you what you want.
That's true. That's true. I've always told my friend John right here, I said, as long as you release something good, the money will come knocking. You just got to release something good. Like, we received several offers for this documentary, but they wanted to own it. They wanted to recut it. They wanted to re-edit it. And we're like, no.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just release it ourselves. And we went for it, and I'm cool with it. I knew I wasn't going to become a millionaire by releasing a documentary.
Right.
But at least I'm happy knowing that my story at least got out.
And I'm proud of you for keeping it, because a lot of people give into the paycheck.
Yes.
They give into the distribution deal. Right now, everything that's MC Magic is my property. It doesn't belong to any other. All the intellectual property, all the masters are all mine. I learned that the hard way. The MB Writers Masters don't belong to me. But everything MC Magic does. And that's why I have to take care of my brand. Yeah. And that's MC Magic.
Okay. Like I said, I can keep going, but people can reach you. Your Instagram has been popping up. Is there another website you would like to plug in?
nastyboyrecords.com.
Okay. Anywhere else? I know because of this pandemic, you haven't been able to perform. And I know you don't have to convince me because I already know. I do my homework. You sell out shows.
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
we do.
Sell out shows. Anything that got rescheduled where people may be able to see you soon?
That would be, honestly, that's a question for Big D.
Okay.
I think our next performance is going to be in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
We're actually this is the first time that I'm part of one of those drive-up concerts. So we're doing a drive-up concert in Houston. I don't know how it's going to go. I'll let you know later. Okay. I'm optimistic about it, but I really like regular concerts. They're amazing,
Now, when you say drive-up, can you...
Is it like a drive-in theater, but it's a concert.
Wow.
That's what it's called, a drive-up concert, right? Drive-in Music Fest. So it's me, Baby Bash, Frankie J, and a few others, yeah.
Baby Bash, much love, much respect to Baby Bash. He was supposed to be in here. We had him booked, but because of this pandemic, he couldn't.
Yeah, Bash is the real one. Bash, Lil Rob, Frankie J, solid man. These are the homies that I do shows with all the time, and I mean I can't speak enough highly about them because we support each other real tough.
Awesome, and I love to hear that. I've spoken to Lil Rob, and we just never got a date because of all of this that went on.
Yeah.
So I get it. So, but I can't wait to have those guys. I remember the first time me and Bash talked on the phone. We stayed on the phone like 2 hours, and I was waiting to go into the gym. And I go, okay, bro, I gotta go. I gotta hang up. And he goes, there goes the whole interview right there. Because it was true.
Yeah.
It was true. It was such a dope conversation with that guy.
And I'm real proud of the single that me and Bash did. We actually dropped a 2020 single at the top of the year. Actually, it was the end of 2019, but it's called 2020. And then also last year, me and Lil Rob, along with Cuco, a Latin X artist, we collaborated on a song called Search. Classic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Other than that, it's the time to give shout outs if you like.
Yeah. Shout out to all my beautiful mamacitas, everybody that took the time to log in and watch. I'm pretty sure Claudia Aguirre is watching. Romeo 602 is watching. I know Speedy's watching because he texted me. My brother Speedy, me and Speedy got a song together called The Cross, dedicated to Jesus.
Awesome.
That's from my new album. Who else? Well, my fans that I can remember. I know, probably the Caro girls are watching. Mariana and Adrianita Caro, las quiero mucho. The other one's gonna get mad at me because I don't remember everybody. Because I have so many fans that are regulars. Like Unique Garcia, love you too, baby. They are like the first to comment, and always share. They're just so supportive that it's really amazing, you know.
Awesome, faithful fans. Yeah, most definitely.
Very faithful.
All good. So at this time, let me go ahead and give my shout outs to Romeo once again, but first and foremost to you for coming and blessing me with this time to be able to ask you questions.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Let me say this. By your stories, by you sharing, I was truly blessed by this interview. I truly was.
Man, that means the world to me, bro.
Yeah, I was truly blessed.
That means the world because this music is my heart, man. This music and this career, it's all I have, you know. Besides my family and God, you know, that's my bread and butter, and so it means the world to me.
Awesome. And let me say this: after knowing your whole story now, I just want to say that I'm proud of you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
So I'm proud.
Thank you.
Big D, thank you very much. To the wifey, thank you. And to my boy, we'll make this short, John motherfucking Elkins. That's the man right there.
Get him, John.
Yeah, without him, none of this, you know,
Teamwork.
takes place. Teamwork. And DG Media Clips, let me give a shout out to him. And let me go ahead and give a shout out to my son, B. Scanless, and to my brother, Spy Smuggler. They helped me promote this. And once again, I got to promote the DOCUMIXERY. You get it when you donate to the Chicano Rap documentary that hopefully we'll start filming in about a month or two, where our goal was only 15,000 and we're close to 11 now. So we need people to bless us with some donation. If you want to give, cool. If you don't, cool. It doesn't matter. It's going to get done regardless. For those of you that love hard copies, once again, you can go to documentaries.com and buy my 8 mixtapes. 4 of them I did. The other 4 Dr. Dre did. All 80 stuff. And then my re-release of the High C Scanless album that I just re-released.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So hopefully by this time next year, the Chicano Rap documentary will be out.
Yeah.
We're planning to do like episode 1, episode 2, because there's just so much to cover.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is. Man, the Chicano rap scene is humongous. And by the way, I actually am very, very proud to be part of the Chicano rap music. I know my Chicano rap sounds like Arizona Chicano rap, or my sound. It's my sound.
Yes.
And not exactly like Chicano rap, but by default, because I'm brown, I get put in that category. But I'm real part of the Chicano culture.
Yes.
And so for that reason, a few years back, we bought the rights to the domains and everything to ChicanoMusicAwards.com. And so one of these days, we'll probably produce the Chicano Music Awards to shine light on the history of Chicano music.
Awesome.
So that's one of my my little babies that I got, you know.
Awesome. Well, I'm pulling for your documentary, okay? And if we ever need you, now I have your number. I'm not one of those type of guys that text you every single day, but I will say that if for some reason we want to interview you or whatever the case may be, maybe you'll bless us with your time.
Man, thank you, brother.
You know?
Your platform, it means a lot to me. You know, it's just it's another brick in the wall.
Awesome. All right, everybody. So Wednesday we have a double feature. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but we'll post it up tomorrow. So without further ado, sayonara. We'll see you guys Wednesday. Stay blessed. Have a blessed night, and we'll see you guys soon.